welcome back to the channel and another one of our World Cup of Design playthrough videos. And this one's for mattf27, who I've featured a lot on this channel. And he's back with a sand belt this time. Now he's asked that we bump things to extremely firm and extremely fast. Happy to oblige. So this is sand belt, as you may well know, is very close to my heart. So there's lots that I will try to give in way of feedback. But also really looking forward to it. Cool that it's under 7,000 yards. We will go with pin 2. But yeah, Matt is a guy who way back when was one of the people who inspired me to get into designing. So it's really cool always to play some of his courses. And yeah, excited to see what he's done with this one. Now, I believe his group is, I want to say group D. It's one with a couple of alts, Seb, him and someone else, and I can't remember who. Maybe Tanner? I'm not totally certain. Anyway, this looks lovely. Let's go and fly around a little bit. Now, Matt was originally working on a sort of pine needles, Pinehurst sort of thing. And I'm glad that he changed his mind and went with something different, because I think this stands out far more. Little environment, neighborhood looks nice. We got all the, yeah, lots of houses all the way around. And you can look and see from the sky that, yeah, this hits a lot of the trademarks that we would expect with sandbelt. So that sandy waste area is really nicely done. So whether that be subsoil or just clearing stuff out. Paths look great. Again, really nicely integrated, as we're seeing with quite a few of these. Bunkers look nice as well. Now, one thing I do tend to find with Matt courses is bunkers can often look like they're nice, but they're very similar sometimes in shaping. These look better, both in terms of shaping and the sculpting. These are looking really nice, so lots to enjoy here. And certainly the tree and underbrush stuff looks very, very good. Oh, well, this I think is going to be a lot of fun. There are a lot of things that I see that make me very excited. So yeah, we'll work our way back up here. So it looks like 9 and 18 both come back, and then 10 and, yeah, 1 go out slightly different directions. Cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so 1, some good, cool land movement in the fairway. That is enough to add a little bit of interest. And we've got a green. I'm not totally sold on the squared shape. You don't tend to see that all that much. But it's cool how you can get the shaped, I assume, bunkers. The fact that you can do these with shapes around the splines now makes a big difference to this style of course. Yeah, okay. So we can hit driver down there, I think. If I go a bit further right, I'm running the risk of running out of fairway. Or I could play 3-wood, but that brings these bunkers into play. I think just hit drive is the way. It's flirting with them. I think we're okay. A little bit of, I don't want to say sloppiness, but we can tidy up the fairway around there. There's no reason for that to be heavy rough rather than fairway. Bunkers sit really nicely here. Scaling's absolutely spot on. The spacing on this hole is great. It's a really good opener. And the green, I've probably got the most benign pin on here. Yeah, like, I do think this bit we can do a bit neater rather than just running the straight line through. You'd kind of bend it a little bit more. But just generally, I think the squared off green doesn't quite work for me. That should be a nice enough swing. Now, I don't know what these defaults are, but yeah, that's gone a decent distance. So 224, Brave New World. Oh, look at that. Did not need to speed it up. We'll watch that again. Nice. I'm glad you chose to have the greens go that sort of speed as well, because you need that sand belt to bite a little bit more around the greens. Cool camera. Okay, so straight on hole. I don't really see why I wouldn't hit driver. And the first one made me think a bit more than this. This one looks, I guess, if you've got a kind of matte pitfall, it's that things can look a bit pretty, but ultimately strategically can sometimes be a little on the trivial side. I think for this one, yeah, it does pinch a little bit. I guess maybe I'm now playing with spinner or pitch, but I don't really see that as too much of an issue, if I'm honest. Certainly this as a whole grabs me a little less than the first. Although with that green speed, that works quite nicely. Oh, nearly had that. Yeah, I think if I were, it does pinch a little. I think you might want another little bunker there, somewhere to pinch this a bit more, and or make the, like, just make the landing zone choke down rather than just cut in. And you could have allowed maybe a bit more space for 3-wood. And then I think this works a bit better. It's a good hole. It's just not quite as good as the first. Lovely bunkering on this one. I think one thing I might have done, just looking at the grasses, I think it works better when you blend in some of the older grasses, which you have done a little bit in spots. So this guy up here. But like the old like step kinds of grasses, I think work really well with this still. So it doesn't always need to be the fescue. But the grasses you have used look really nice. I'd probably try and thicken them up a bit in spots rather than always being sparse, but maybe more personal preference. Okay. Absolute field of bunkers there. Oh, that's going left. Might get lucky though. Yeah, not the end of the world. Yeah, again, just some of the surfacing around the green, I think, like, it wouldn't hurt anyone to have the fairway cutting all the way around here, and then it ties into both these bunkers a little bit neater. And it's like, yeah, it's all right. It's not like a big issue, just more a neatness thing. That's probably out of the rough. Be interested if that sticks. Yeah. Love the views over multiple holes through corridors. Like, looks really good. Oh, what a beautiful putt. This is going well so far. The bunkering is looking lovely so far. Well, that's spicy. I'm just not sold on the squared off green shapes. I don't. Yeah, I think it's a. Well, knowing that a lot of matte courses, it is a matte tendency, but Sandbelt's all about smooth flowing lines, and I don't think we need that. Tough par 3. Oh, come on, wind, hit it. No. And again, like little technical things. So you can see we've just missed a bit of heavy rough on here. Like, there are a few bits that we could just tidy up a little. Tough par 3 though. I think the green could potentially be a bit more interesting. Concept fine for the front pins, certainly. Oh, I've hit that too hard. There goes one of those shots. That's a shame. See, this looks better. Like, circled, kind of smoother green shape. Bunkers around it really fit nicely and flow into one another. Again, this looks lovely. Okay, so here, this is a much better example of like, we are choking down on driver. I can hit 3-wood. Could even hit like a 2-iron, and I think this green is the best one you've got so far. Right. That's interesting and doing lots of cool stuff. I would probably try to not have this running off and have the ability to pop a pin right here. That's kind of the only thing I've got really here. Certainly one of the best holes so far. It's been strong. It's that nice firm kick forward. I don't really feel there was any major danger of hitting the bunker. Okay. 115 up 18, landing here plus a bit of wind. Let's go with it. Oh, it's a bit short of where I thought it would be. No. Poor calculations. Hey, Seb. Yeah, we're good. This is nice. I think you probably look at tying in some of the bunkers with the foliage a bit more, like bushes going into bunkers and things like that work really well. So you're doing a touch of it over here. But like particularly back bunkers, I find that integrates them really nicely on sandbelt courses. That's a terrible putt. Ooh, poor bogey. I'm about to even. It started so well. So definitely set the tone really nicely at the start. Kind of a more straightaway hole. The green does good work, just feeding in from one side. I think once it's doing this, I'd kind of look at it as where do you want people to come in from, and how like it's a cool feature. How are we making the most of it? And the drivers kind of just hit the fairway. I feel like we could have done a bit more with maybe staggering bunkers just on one side where you get a better angle. Let people play out here maybe. You didn't need all of those bunkers from this side, although they're done really nicely. I like the bunkers joining the fairway aspect of this. And the usual. Ooh, I don't know if we'll make this now. Terrible shot. Just hack our way down there. And like, even though I find those bunkers, I still think it's more just a test of execution than anything else. Let's see. 50-degree up 9. Sure. That should take a couple of hops and then grab. Such a fun shot to play. Yeah, so where the grasses are integrating a little more, I just think... okay, I'm going to hold the thought for a sec. Tee shot presents beautifully. Looks really pretty. Because of how those bunkers just layer over the grasses. It's really nice. It's a strong hole. I will say the green is basically just a tier in the middle with a bit of cant. Like, I still think greens are probably the like one of the things to keep working on. This hole looks great though. Go on. Challenging tee shot as well. And challenging in a different way to the last few. I do like that playing to the outside gets you this sort of angle across the tier. That is a nice touch, even though, as I say, it is a tiered green at the end of the day, but plays a little differently. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. Oh, we'll get back one of those shots. do think with the environment, it is good. I think you can probably elevate the planting a bit more with different types of grasses, patches of colour, just like that last bits of detail work. Really good par 3. I love the site for it. Love the bunkering. I will say, strongest course of yours by quite a considerable distance so far. It's really nice. I don't love this red slope and would have worked to flatten that out. That's kind of my only real thing on this one. Legend has gotten so much tougher since the update. It's great. At least it has for me. Slash, I haven't been playing much. I want probably a combination. Pick shot, still way too easy. Okay, so this is on 9 back to Clubhouse. I don't understand why the fairway's not right up against these. I just feel like it's something we've been doing everywhere, like for good reason. Oh, we've really lost it. I've got a good bounce. An elite watch. Yeah, I don't know. I've not played the tours in quite some time. Just things are busy. Green presents beautifully. It's nice to have a longer approach shot as well. That worked all right. I hadn't looked at the clubhouse area. Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't really care about clubhouses, but could probably be a little bit more fancy. And it doesn't matter, ultimately. Ugh, terrible putts. I'm really enjoying the parts of this where you have played with elevation that little bit more. It's just a really nice touch. And when you have done more interesting things with the greens, they're great. I love this one. Is that like this is really strong? Oh, it needs a lucky bounce. It was very close. It's a well placed bunker. I don't mind just hacking out to here. Give me a full wedge, ideally. This hole feels really cool and unique, and like I love what you've done with bunkers like this one, where it's a very simple thing. It works really nicely. Might still make birdie. Two 2-4s actually don't play too fast. It's nice. Okay. 3 par 5s on the back 9, I think, if I saw that correctly. Interesting. Oh, so this joins back up with that one. Another shorter par 4. I guess you can probably cheat and go that way. This is probably my least favourite hole in a decent while. Pick straight. Here we go. I just don't see that you can really gain the angle into the green all that easily. it's now at that point where it's cool hitting over the trees, but this approach shot I feel like we've done before and we've done it better elsewhere. Okay. I think that probably needs to go some, but I'm still clueless on how the pitch shot works. Oh no, there we go. Love the little groves of trees around this green there. And as a whole, it does sit really nicely in and amongst the others. Par3. Okay. Frames nicely. I think green could probably use a bit. I don't know. It's kind of a three-tiered thing. And although it's a little bit of a half tier, I'd like to see something a little bit more interesting. Again, we're trying to, as ever, trying to give as much of the feedback as I can do. Particularly as I know Matt will value it. It's a solid hole. I think the green, with a more interesting green complex, lifts it to truly outstanding. I like the little glimpses of the houses through there. And the environment generally is really, really immersive. And it is the most fun mat course, or the most enjoyable mat course for me I've played in a long time. Would have loved to have seen some grasses and native bits sprinkled through here. I like this green far more. We're not tucked quite up against the bunkers. Again, some more grasses on those little lips of the bunkers would really lift it. Stay. Pretty good. Yes, this is the club. And the only thing I'd wanted to see a bit more on this one was you've given a lot of fairway around the green. It'd be really nice if the fairway around it was just a little more at grade so the ball could run on, because it's essentially still an aerial approach because everything falling off. Where it could have been a really nice option to bump it on. You'll still be able to do it a little bit, but could have really encouraged it. Yeah, indeed. Okay, I'm assuming nice short par 3. Sits beautifully. And might be too much. Get lucky. Oh, it does. That plays really nicely. Love that. That's a fun birdie. And we're scraping it to -4. For all the jokes, like, of Matt and his CC courses, this could very easily go on CC. This one's got some risk. If you end up left, you are completely blocked out. It's a great course for my driver length as well. Left it goes. I like that that's cambered off. You have to really challenge those bunkers to have a go at it. The green is still kind of, here's your big tier, and then other things off it. It would be really cool to have a touch more variety than that. I mean, if I end up in the bunker, I'm not disappointed. Cool. I'll take that. Just some way down there. Can't play a pick though. Disappointing. That will do nicely though. It's cool to feel like you have to just gently roll your putts rather than hammering it. Yeah, what you've done on these bunkers here, I'd have loved that just a little bit more throughout the course, and like some bushes and different types of grasses would have just that final little touch. Really like this one. So kind of how far do you want to lay up? I appreciate that. Do I want a downhill stance? Do I want to lay up to the top of the hill? A couple of little bits, but just to make you think. We're going to just pop a little stinger down. Again, I would just like a little more consistency with the fairway running into that fairway bunker just behind me. This sits up so beautifully. There we go. Just remembered that Seb's was a sandbelt as well, so, and in the same group, so we have some choices of all the chin joints. Oh, back nines come together nicely. Again, layers really well. I feel like this one could go to the ultra firm and fasts. Oh, it is Tanner. I wasn't sure. I forget who's in which group. Oh, and alt 2. Yeah, I 100% wouldn't be trying to attempt it. Unless you've had a ton of hours, it's just not worth it. Like, do simple stuff well first. It's similar to like, I don't know, I think the Rainer style with flat bottom bunkers is very similar. Like, just don't go for it until you are nailing all of the basics, because there's just so many ways you'll trip yourself up. Okay, par 5 to finish. Kind of my mind sees this. There's this really cool land movement just up here. Yeah, but I think you've nailed a lot of the basics before, so you're within that realm of designers who can do it. I also think you've then got people who've absolutely nailed it before, and like a lot of amazing stuff out there with like depth of planting, etc. And like it then becomes really like, how are you making this better than the others? We're just going to lay back because with that wind, we're not getting there. It's a little tighter than I might have liked. Wind has kind of ruined this as a closing spectacle, I suppose, for me. Might have been cool to do something like cross bunkery. So could you have done a diagonal string cutting out here? So then the fairway's feeding all of those balls in there, or like I think you could have done something a little bit different with this one. It has also gone to that back tier again. But it's another really solid hole. Don't have to control your spin with that. We did not. Ooh. Be interested if that was how you wanted that to play, but I don't hate it. It wasn't a good shot. Oh, and that has blown left on me. Damn, we're going to finish with bogey on a par 5. Out of nowhere. I did like that that bunker was in play. It possibly felt a little bit harsh, but equally, I should have hit a better shot. That's cool. Right. So there we go. That is Karingal, which is Matt's course. I mean, it is comfortably Matt's best course ever. Like, not even close in terms of playability. Like, I feel Matt will also accept and appreciate this, but it's been a little stuck in a rut for a while and doing a lot of the same things. And you can see there's still a few of those tendencies, like particularly on the green sculpting, some of the shaping that are like really hard to break. But there's so much good on this, like really enjoyable. The aesthetic was great. I think could possibly use a little bit more detail planting just to really pop at the end. And then there's a few holes where it's the how can you make this one stand out in a way that the others, so that it reaches some of the others. But other than that, just really, really good fun. Love that. We'll be back again to play more. Yeah, and good luck to Seb. Right, I'm going to hop off. It's just a very quick playthrough, but hopefully we will get some more soon. See you again soon.